My wife accidentally called me by her ex's name in bed and said, "It happens." The next day, I accidentally hired a moving company to transfer all her belongings to his address. I texted her back, "It happens." And then, original post. I, 38 male, have been married to Rebecca, 35, for 6 years. Together for 9 total. Last Tuesday night changed everything. We were being intimate, won't go into details, but it was one of those rare nights with both kids at sleepovers. Things were getting heated when she moaned, "Oh, Trevor." Trevor, her ex-boyfriend, the one who meant nothing and was ancient history. Everything stopped. I pulled away, staring at her in the dim light. She realized immediately what she'd said. Her eyes went wide. I didn't. You just called me Trevor." She sat up, pulling the sheet around herself. "It was a slip. It happens. People say the wrong name sometimes. In bed? During that? You're overreacting. It doesn't mean anything." "Doesn't mean anything? You were thinking about him while we were." She actually rolled her eyes. "Oh please, like you've never thought about an ex." "I've never called you by her name." "Well, good for you. Want a medal? It was an accident. It happens. Get over it." The casualness. The dismissiveness. Like I was being ridiculous for being upset that my wife called out another man's name during our most intimate moment. Get over it? Yes. God, you're so sensitive. It's just a name. It slipped out. Trevor and I were together for 5 years. Sometimes muscle memory kicks in. Muscle memory? Muscle memory? You know what I mean. We're married, we have kids, our life is here. Stop making this into something it's not. She turned over and went to sleep. Just like that. Like she hadn't just destroyed something fundamental. I lay there until 4 a.m., thinking about how she said his name with such familiarity, about how quickly she dismissed my feelings, about "it happens." At 5 a.m., I made a decision. If calling out your ex's name during intimacy is just something that happens, then I guess other things can just happen too. I waited until she left for work at 8:30 a.m. Then I made some calls. First call? Armstrong Moving Company. "Hi, I need to schedule an urgent move, today if possible, full packing service." Second call, my buddy Keith, who's a locksmith. "Can you swing by this afternoon, need the locks changed." Third call, Trevor's workplace. "Yeah, I knew where he worked. Small town. Hi, could I verify an address for a delivery?" By noon, the movers were at my house. Professional crew, 4 guys. I'd marked everything that was hers with sticky notes. Her clothes, her books, her grandmother's china she was so proud of, her exercise equipment, her home office setup, everything. "Where's it all going?" the crew chief asked. I handed him Trevor's address. "Right here. Tell them Rebecca's things are being returned to the correct name," she calls out. The movers didn't ask questions. They don't get paid to judge. 6 hours later, everything of hers was gone. The house looked strange, half empty but somehow cleaner. Keith changed the locks around 3 p.m. At 5:47 p.m. my phone exploded. Rebecca calling. I let it go to voicemail. Text. "Where is my stuff?" Another. "What did you do?" Another. "The neighbors saw moving trucks." I waited until 6 p.m. then texted back. "Your things were accidentally delivered to Trevor's address. It happens." My phone immediately rang. I answered. "What the hell is wrong with you?" "Language, Rebecca. The kids might hear you. They were at my mom's. I'd arranged that earlier. You moved my stuff to my ex-boyfriend's house? Are you insane?" It was an accident. Sometimes wrong addresses happen. Muscle memory from writing addresses, you know? This isn't funny. Neither was last night. You can't just throw me out. This is my house too. I'm not throwing you out. Your belongings just accidentally went to the wrong address. These things happen. You said so yourself. I'm coming home right now and you better let me in. Door's always been open to my wife. Not sure who you are though. Last night you seemed confused about who I was. She hung up. 20 minutes later she was at the door. The key didn't work. "Open this door." I opened it but stood in the doorway. "Can I help you?" "Let me in my house." "Sorry, Rebecca, but last night made it clear you're still hung up on Trevor. Figured you'd be more comfortable with him. Your stuff's already there." "You can't do this. We're married. I'll call the cops." "Please do. Explain to them how you called out your ex's name in bed, told me to get over it, and now you're upset that your belongings were delivered to his address." Her face went from red to white. "You're seriously ending our marriage over a name?" "No. I'm ending it over your complete dismissal of my feelings and your apparent ongoing attraction to your ex. The name was just how I found out. I want my children. They're at my mother's. You can see them tomorrow. We'll work out custody through lawyers. You planned this. This is illegal. It's theft. I have receipts from the moving company showing everything was delivered safely, nothing was stolen, just relocated. She stood there, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Update 1. It's been 3 days since the accidental move. The drama has escalated exactly as expected. First, Trevor. Poor, confused Trevor. He came home from work to find Rebecca's entire life piled on his lawn. She'd apparently never told him she was married. He thought she was single when she reached out as friends 6 months ago. Oh yeah, that's the thing. They've been texting. For months. Just catching up, she said when she finally admitted it. Trevor called me the next morning. Dude, what is happening? Why is Rebecca's stuff at my house? Why is she crying on my couch saying you kicked her out? Ask her why she called me by your name in bed. Long pause. What? Yeah. So since she clearly can't tell us apart, figured her stuff should be with the right guy. Man, I have a girlfriend. I don't want this drama. Then maybe don't text married women. She said she was getting divorced. That was news to me. When did she say that? Like 3 months ago? Said you two were basically roommates, just staying together for the kids. I laughed. Actually laughed. We had sex twice last week, Trevor. Well, once and a half, I guess. The half was when she called me your name. He hung up. Rebecca's mom, Gloria, called next. This woman who hasn't worked a day in her life, married to husband number 3, had opinions. How dare you humiliate my daughter like this? She humiliated herself, Gloria. It was just a name. All men are so sensitive. Would your husband be cool with you calling him by your ex's name during sex? That's different. How? You've been married 6 years. You have children. You don't throw that away over a slip of the tongue. She's been texting him for 6 months, told him we were getting divorced, still think it was just a slip? Silence. Then, you're lying. Ask her. Rebecca showed up again that evening with her sister Mallory and brother-in-law Dennis. They tried to physically push past me into the house. This is assault, Mallory screamed. Dennis, call 911. Dennis looked uncomfortable. We're the ones trying to force entry into his house. It's her house too. I held up my phone, recording. Please, keep trying to force your way in. This will look great in court. They backed off. Rebecca was fake crying. I know her real cry versus her manipulation cry. This was Oscar-worthy manipulation crying. Where are our children? You can't keep them from me. They're at school right now, like every weekday. You can pick them up at 3:30 like normal. I've already told the school you'll be getting them today. That stopped the fake tears. Where would I take them? Your mom's? Trevor's? That hotel you're apparently staying at? I can't afford a hotel forever. Then I guess you better figure something out. Maybe Trevor can help. You two seem close. Mallory jumped in. This is financial abuse. No, this is consequence. She has a job. She has family. She has Trevor. She'll be fine. What about the kids? You're traumatizing them. I told them mommy needs some space to figure some things out. They're okay. More concerned about whether they can still have pizza Friday. Dennis finally spoke up. Look, man, I get you're hurt, but don't you think the moving truck thing was a bit much? Dennis, if Mallory called you by her ex's name during sex, then told you to get over it, what would you do? He looked at Mallory, then at Rebecca, then back at me. Yeah, okay, I see your point. Dennis, Mallory shrieked. What? I'm just saying I understand why he's upset. They left after more threats about lawyers and custody and how I'd regret this. That night, I got a text from an unknown number. It was a photo of Rebecca crying with the caption, "Look what you did to her. Happy now?" I responded, "She looks about as happy as I did when she moaned another man's name. Guess we're even." Update 2. Day 5 post-move. Rebecca's entitlement has reached spectacular levels. She tried to access our bank account. Fortunately, I'd already separated my direct deposit into my own account that morning after the incident. She could access the joint account, all $73 left in it. I'd been meaning to close that anyway. She called me screaming, "You stole our money." I redirected my paycheck to my account. Your paycheck still goes wherever you direct it. I need money for a lawyer. Better start saving then. You planned this. You were waiting for an excuse. No, Rebecca, I was waiting for my wife to not call me by another man's name during sex. Apparently that was too much to ask. She tried another angle, posted on social media about how I made her homeless over a simple mistake and took everything from her. The comments were interesting. Her friends initially rallied to support her, but then someone asked, what was the mistake? She wouldn't answer. So I did. From my account, the mistake was calling me Trevor during intimacy. Trevor is her ex who she's been secretly texting for 6 months. The comment section exploded. Suddenly, her support system got real quiet. Her friend Nicole actually messaged me privately. Is that really what happened? Yes. OMG. She told us you were controlling and jealous for no reason. No reason except her ongoing emotional affair with her ex. Nicole sent me screenshots. Rebecca had been in their group chat for months complaining about me, how I was boring, how I didn't appreciate her, how Trevor really understood her. But here's the kicker. She'd been planning to leave me anyway. After our youngest started school full-time next year, she wanted to wait until then so she could claim she'd been a stay-at-home mom and get better alimony. The messages were dated 2 months ago. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. Then came the custody exchange. She picked up the kids from school as agreed. 2 hours later, my 7-year-old called me crying. Daddy, why is all of Mommy's stuff at some man's house? What do you mean, buddy? Mommy took us to this house and there were boxes everywhere, and she was yelling at some man and his girlfriend was yelling too, and I'm scared. She took our kids to Trevor's house. To Trevor's house. I drove over immediately. Sure enough, chaos. Rebecca screaming at Trevor's girlfriend, Katie, who was throwing Rebecca's boxes onto the lawn. Get your crap out of my boyfriend's house, you psycho. He invited me over. We have history. Yeah, ancient history. You're married, with kids. My kids were in Rebecca's car, crying. I walked up calmly. Kids, come with Dad. You can't take them, Rebecca screamed. It's my custody time. You brought them to a domestic dispute. You exposed them to adult conflict. That's a violation of basic parenting standards. Katie chimed in. Take those kids. This woman is insane. She showed up here saying Trevor promised to help her. He's been hiding in the bathroom for 20 minutes. I got the kids in my car. Rebecca tried to stop me, actually grabbed my arm. Touch me again, and I call the cops, I said quietly. You've already traumatized them enough today. She let go. As I drove away, I saw Trevor finally emerge, looking like a man who just realized he'd stuck his hand in a beehive. That night, after the kids were asleep, my lawyer called. The screenshots you sent are gold. She's been planning abandonment. The fact she exposed the kids to that scene today? Document everything. This is going to be a very short divorce. Update 3, Week 2. Rebecca went nuclear. First, she tried to get me fired. Called my boss claiming I was emotionally unstable and a danger to the workplace. My boss, Frank, called me into his office. Jake, I got a weird call from your wife? Soon-to-be ex-wife. She says you're having some kind of breakdown? I showed him the texts, the screenshots, the whole story. Frank, who's been divorced twice, just shook his head. Brother, I've been there. Take whatever time you need, and if she calls again, I'm recording it for harassment. Then she tried the church angle. We attended First Methodist downtown. She told Pastor Williams I was having an affair and had abandoned my family. Pastor Williams called me from my side. I explained everything, including showing him her texts with Trevor from before our incident. His response, Jacob, I've counseled many couples. What she did was a betrayal. You're responding with boundaries. That's healthy. Sunday came. She showed up at church in a dress cut down to there and up to here, sitting in the front row, making a show of praying dramatically, dabbing at her eyes with tissues. I sat in my usual spot with the kids. Calm. Normal. After service, she made a scene in the parking lot. How can you sit in God's house after what you've done to our family? Rebecca, you called out another man's name in our marital bed. Let's not discuss sin in the church parking lot. Several people heard that. The gossip mill started instantly, but the real escalation came Tuesday. I got home from work to find my garage spray painted. Asshole in bright red paint. Security camera caught everything. Rebecca at 2 a.m., hoodie on but clearly her, called the cops, filed a report. Vandalism, property damage. The officer looked at the footage. Sir, do you want to press charges? Yes. This is your wife? Estranged wife who's been having an emotional affair and called me by her ex's name during intimacy. The cop, a woman in her 40s, just said, "Press charges. My ex-husband pulled the same crap. The name thing, not the vandalism." Rebecca was arrested at work the next day, in front of all her colleagues. Her mugshot was in the online police blotter by evening. Her mom called screaming about humiliation and family disgrace. "Gloria, she spray-painted my garage. That's a crime. It's just paint. It's vandalism, and it's on camera. You drove her to this." No, she drove herself literally, in her Honda, at 2 a.m. It's all on video. Then came the flying monkeys. Her friends, cousins, random people she'd convinced I was the villain. "You're ruining her life over nothing. How can you do this to the mother of your children? Real men forgive." To every single one I sent the same response. "She called me Trevor during sex. She's been texting Trevor for 6 months. She vandalized my property. Actions have consequences." Most shut up after that. The ones who didn't got blocked. Meanwhile, Trevor completely ghosted Rebecca, changed his number. His girlfriend Katie reached out to me on social media. "Hey, just wanted you to know Trevor and I are moving. He wants nothing to do with this drama. He asked me to tell you he's sorry for his part in it, but he genuinely thought she was already divorced. Also, we're still finding her stuff. I've donated most of it to Goodwill." Rebecca's stuff, donated to Goodwill, including her precious grandmother's china. When Rebecca found out, she had a complete meltdown. Called me sobbing, real tears this time. "Her china! My grandmother's china. It's gone. This is your fault. You should have thought about that before you started texting your ex and calling out his name in bed. It was worth thousands. Then maybe you should have valued our marriage worth thousands too. I hate you." "That's fine. Hate me from over there." Update 4 Week 3 brought the legal papers. Rebecca had hired Diane Morrison, no relation, known locally as the man-eater divorce attorney. First move was aggressive, demanding the house, full custody, alimony, child support, and emotional damages for the malicious eviction. My lawyer, Tom, actually laughed when he read it. "She vandalized your property, she's on record planning to leave you, and she brought your kids to a confrontation at her ex's house. This is posturing." We responded with our own filing. Adultery, emotional counts in our state, vandalism, child endangerment, and parental alienation attempts. Then came the emergency custody hearing. Rebecca showed up dressed like a librarian. Hair in a bun, conservative suit, minimal makeup. The devoted mother costume. I wore my usual court attire, khakis and a polo. Didn't need a costume, had facts. Her lawyer argued I'd made her homeless and was alienating the children from their mother. Tom stood up. "Your Honor, we have security footage of Mrs. Henderson spray painting obscenities on Mr. Henderson's garage. We have screenshots of her planning to abandon the marriage after securing better financial positioning. We have witness testimony that she brought the minor children to a volatile situation at her paramour's residence." The judge, an older woman who looked like she'd seen everything, reviewed the evidence. "Mrs. Henderson, did you call your husband by another man's name during intimate relations?" Rebecca turned red. "It was an accident." "Did you tell him to, quote, get over it?" Yes, but did you vandalize his property?" "I was emotional." "Did you take your children to your ex-boyfriend's home where an altercation occurred?" "I didn't know his girlfriend would be there." The judge looked at her over her glasses. "Mrs. Henderson, you've demonstrated poor judgment, criminal behavior, and disregard for your children's well-being. Temporary primary custody is awarded to Mr. Henderson. You'll have supervised visitation until further evaluation." Rebecca exploded. "This is sexism. Mothers always get custody." He manipulated everything. "Mrs. Henderson, control yourself or I'll hold you in contempt." Diane tried damage control. "Your Honor, my client is under extreme stress. Stress she created. Next issue. The house, mine. Premarital asset, inherited from my grandfather. Alimony, denied. She has employment and education. Child support, she'll be paying me." Rebecca stormed out, Diane following, heels clicking on the marble floor. In the parking lot, Rebecca confronted me. "You've turned my kids against me." "No, you did that when you took them to Trevor's house and let them watch you scream at his girlfriend. This isn't over." "Actually, it pretty much is." That night, I made the kids their favorite dinner, tacos. My youngest asked, "Why doesn't Mommy live here anymore?" Sometimes adults make choices that change things, buddy. Did she choose Trevor? Kids hear everything. She chose to hurt Daddy's feelings and not apologize. That's mean. Yeah, buddy, it was. My oldest, 9, looked at me seriously. Dad, are you sad? Sometimes, but I'm okay. Good, because Mom seems really sad, like all the time now. From the mouths of babes. Update 5, month 2. The divorce was almost final when Rebecca made her last desperate play. She showed up at my door at 11 p.m. on a Friday. Not drunk, but different. Hair done, makeup perfect, wearing the dress I'd bought her for our 5th anniversary. We need to talk. No, we don't. Please, 5 minutes, I deserve that. You deserve nothing, but fine. 5 minutes, on the porch. She sat on the swing we'd installed together our first summer in the house. I miss you. You miss the stability. No, I miss you. Us, our family. The family you were planning to leave? I was confused. Trevor was saying things, making me think things. Trevor made you moan his name? She flinched. Can we get past that? Rebecca, you moaned another man's name during the most intimate moment two people can share, then told me to get over it like I was being ridiculous. There's no getting past that. People make mistakes. Calling me Trevor wasn't the mistake. The mistake was the 6 months of texting him. The mistake was telling him we were getting divorced when we weren't. The mistake was planning to leave me, but waiting until you could get better alimony. How do you? Your friend Nicole sent me the screenshots. Your whole plan. Wait until the kids were both in school full-time. Claim you sacrificed your career. Take me for everything. She went pale. Nicole? That traitoress. She's not a traitor. She just has a conscience. I was venting. I didn't mean it. You meant it enough to text Trevor for 6 months. She started crying. Real tears. I ruined everything. Yes. Can't you forgive me? I can forgive you, from over there, while you're not my wife anymore. The kids need their mother. They have their mother every other weekend. Supervised. That's not enough. Should have thought about that before you took them to Trevor's house to watch you fight with his girlfriend. She stood up, angry now. You're so cold, so calculating. You planned everything. No, Rebecca. You planned everything. I just responded better than you expected. I'll contest the divorce. I'll fight for the house that's been in my family for 3 generations, the house I inherited. Good luck. I'll tell everyone what you did. Tell them you called out your ex's name during sex and I moved your stuff to his house. See who takes your side. She played her last card. I'm pregnant. I laughed. Actually laughed. No, you're not. How do you know? Because we haven't had sex since you called me Trevor. That was 2 months ago. You're not showing, and you just had wine at dinner with your mom yesterday. Nicole sent me the photo from Instagram. Her face crumbled. How did I become the villain in this story? You became the villain when you chose to hurt me and expected me to just take it. She left. The divorce was finalized 2 weeks later. Final update. It's been 6 months since that night. Time for the final update. The divorce is done. Clean. Surgical. She got her clothes, what wasn't donated by Katie, her car, and her personal items. I got the house, primary custody, and child support. Rebecca lives in a 2-bedroom apartment across town. Works full-time now. Amazing how she suddenly didn't need to find herself when the bills came due. The kids have adjusted. They see her every other weekend, supervised by her mother Gloria, who still glares at me during exchanges, but has stopped the verbal attacks after I threatened a restraining order. Trevor moved to another state with Katie. Completely disappeared from social media. Mutual friends say he tells people about his psycho ex from years ago without mentioning the recent drama. Rebecca tried dating apps. Word got around though. Small town. Everyone knows she's the woman who moaned her ex's name in bed, then got her stuff moved to his house. Not a great dating profile. She reached out last week. Not to reconcile, but to ask if she could have the kids for Christmas morning. The court order says Christmas Eve until 6 p.m. I know, but it's Christmas. And? Jake, please don't do this. Do what? Follow the custody agreement you signed? Use the kids to hurt me. I'm not using anyone. I'm following the legal agreement. You know, the kind of agreement adults make and stick to. You're still so angry. No, I'm indifferent. There's a difference. And I am indifferent. She's just someone I used to know. Someone who shares DNA with my kids. The kids are thriving. My oldest made honor roll. My youngest lost his first tooth. Life moves on. I'm dating someone new. Andrea. Met her at a school function. She's a widow, has a daughter my oldest's age. We're taking it slow, very slow. She knows the whole story, and her first comment was, "Who the hell calls out their ex's name during sex and expects it to be okay?" Exactly. Rebecca found out about Andrea when she saw us at the grocery store. Later texted me, "Already replacing me?" "Replaced you the moment you said Trevor. Just took 6 months for the paperwork to catch up." She's not prettier than me. She knows my name. That puts her ahead already. No response to that. My lawyer Tom ran into Diane Morrison at court last month. She told him it was the fastest collapse of a divorce case she'd ever had. Your client played that perfectly. The moving truck was genius. Petty? I asked Tom when he told me. Effective, he said. She tried to minimize your feelings. You maximized her consequences. Last night, I was tucking in my youngest and he asked, "Dad, do you still love Mommy? I love that she gave me you and your sister." But not her? Not anymore, buddy. Because she said Trevor? Because she hurt my feelings and didn't care that she hurt them. Oh, that makes sense. Kids understand more than we give them credit for. This morning, I woke up to a text from an unknown number. Turned out to be Trevor's new number. "Jake, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but I wanted to apologize. I didn't know she was still married at first. When I found out, I should have stopped responding. I'm sorry for my part in this. You didn't deserve what happened." I texted back, "Apology accepted. Good luck with Katie." "Thanks. She's actually my fiancée now. The whole thing with Rebecca had made us realize what we had." So, my ex-wife's affair partner is getting married because dealing with her made him appreciate his girlfriend. There's some irony. Rebecca still tells people I overreacted, that I threw away our marriage over one little mistake. The people who matter know better. The kids are with me this Christmas morning. We'll have pancakes, open presents, and watch movies. Andrea and her daughter might stop by later. My parents are coming for dinner. It's a different life than I planned, but it's mine. And everyone in it knows my name. That's all that matters. Oh, and for those wondering, yes, the garage still has a faint outline where asshole was spray painted. I could have it properly repaired, but I keep it as a reminder. Not of anger or pain, but of the day I chose myself. The day I decided that when someone shows you who they are, someone who'll call you by another man's name, then tell you to get over it, you believe them, and you act accordingly. Even if acting accordingly means hiring a moving truck and having their shit delivered to Trevor's house. It happens.